40 competitors and dollars in scholarships, as well as bragging. Wiregrass Technical, Art Institute of Atlanta, SCAD Atlanta, University of Georgia, and Georgia State University. 3, 2, 1, roll!
Drox has got round the back and took down Devin Alenzarajina. He's going to get a triple kill.
He's looking for the kill. All he needs is a signature move. One of those fancy, heavy moves.
That's
there it is! He comes it back!
Here comes the Dragon Punch.
I'm going to mess around too much. The tree is dead. Tries to come around the side. KSU! There it is! Mixed with the KO!
So patient,
Can they get
too.
the edge guard onto Queen 9? Will they let him?
There it is!
The crowd goes wild. We got a point, boys. KSU is staying in this.
There it is! KSU takes their first game!
There it is.
The Mojo dropping down, and who you gonna call? They're not Ghostbusters, they're from UGA. Here we go. Game 3 now. KSU versus UGA. Here we go. UGA went too cocky. UGA.
Oh, coming out, that's gonna confirm it!
UGA is your Brawlhalla Georgia Esports League champion. And with that, UGA will take the game, the match, and the state championship for themselves.
Problems. It's okay if you are. And you are on a lot of... What are you doing? That isn't weird at all. Stupid, stupid virus. Seriously, you need to get a grip.
Thank you for your interest in the Georgia Game Developers Association's Patreon campaign. The Georgia Game Developers Association is a nonprofit that focuses on educating both game developers and fans on what is involved in making great games. For years we have put on live events to do just that, attracting some of the greatest thinkers in game development to share their secrets. Recently, we began our live streaming channel on Mixer to expand our ability to reach those developers and gamers far beyond our state. We have seen some initial success, but we are also hearing a lot of requests for more. More workshops, more in-depth interviews, more first looks at indie games, more giveaways, and more great streams. Your support will allow us to do just that. Even at starting levels, we both recognize your support and seek your input on what to stream. At higher levels, you can actually help shape our content, gaining priority access to our speakers, the chance to share announcements, and, at the highest level, running ads and promotions for all our viewers to see. So join now to get the inside scoop on game development and to help shape one of the best game dev channels on the net.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's stream where we actually get to do a first look. Try to say that a few times, right? That's right. Gotta tell you, in the earlier days, one of my first personal streams with the Georgia Game Developers was this awesome game called Starfighter Inc. with this really cool person named Jack Mamias. We get to do it again. Last year, it was in its very infant stages, but apparently they've been working really hard, and yeah, we're gonna get to see. But before we get to go on, we got to give our thanks to our Patreon: Stephen Kofi, Burton Posey, Lee Friedman, James Simpson, Trey Carpenter, and Joe Casaval. Thanks, guys. The Georgia Game Developers Association is a nonprofit organization, so your support with our Patreon, which you can find us at patreon.com/Georgia Game Devs. Your support will help us with efforts to improve game developers like Impeller Studios and their community, as well as helping to bring better games to life, like Starfighter Inc., right? Our stream is for gamers looking to learn more about what goes into making their favorite game, and it's also for new designers looking to break in. It's also for experienced designers looking to improve their skills. And so, something pretty cool, certain levels of our Patreon members get to join us on our live streams in vocal chat. So, check it out. Go to patreon.com/Georgia Game Devs and see all what you can get. Next, GGDA Social. Get in touch with us on Twitter, Instagram at GGDA_ORG. That's right, GGDA_org. You can also find us at our Facebook page group, which is facebook.com/groups/GGDA.org. And so also follow our page, follow our group, and keep an eye out for links to our Discord server. So don't miss that out on all the new conversations going on in our Discord. Next, I'm not wearing it tonight. I normally do. GGDA merchandise. cafepress.com/GGDA. I promise you, if you wear the shirt, and unfortunately I'm not wearing it tonight, the shirts will give you more HP. The coffee cups will give you more intellect. You just can't help it. So go out there at cafepress.com/GGDA. Go buy something. Go buy it now. Not a request. Also, we are currently streaming all of this content on our 3 different streaming channels, which is youtube.com/Georgia Game Devs, Twitch TV/Georgia Game Devs, and on mixer.com/GGDA. But be sure to hit the follow button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give us a hand, and check it out. All right, one more thing. The next Atlanta chapter, GGDA, will be on February 13th, and they're going to be meeting at the Art Institute of Atlanta, 660 Peachtree, Dunwoody Road, Atlanta. This is going to be from 6 p.m. till whenever, networking and all that. But anyway, the topic is how to publish your game. This is a pretty important topic. The Game Jam was a big success, and now you're on to polishing your game, so it's ready for prime time. What happens next? Join us for our presentations by a number of published game developers as they talk about distributing your game via different platforms like Steam, mobile, websites, and more. So to find out how you can prepare, how you launch, and what comes next. And I'll confess myself, my first game, Egg Defender, was at a Game Jam, and it grew into a publication. All right, that's about it for now. I'm going to show you one more quick look commercial, and I will be right back. Wow. Hi, everybody. Well, I told you that would be a quick commercial, and you know me, I am not perfect. I meant to show you this screen. Let's hop over here. There we go. Starfighter Inc. Yeah, you don't need to look at me. Although, you may have noticed I was wearing that shirt that says, always keep looking up. Yeah, and join with me here. Jack Mamaya, say hi.
Hello.
All right. Who else we got here? We got Philip.
Hey, everybody.
This is Philip Patterson. He is our lead designer, and I asked him to come join us tonight so we can have some cool multiplayer fun.
And also we have Andrew.
I'm a lead designer too.
So, but while we're taking a look here, and while I'm pushing buttons and scrambling, you get to see our the Starfighter Inc. logo, and I'm just going to go ahead and click launch so everybody else can see this. But while we're talking about this, we got to give a good shout out to SpaceX tonight. All right? Launching the Falcon Heavy, putting a Tesla Roadster into outer space with a spaceman. Too cool for school. But yeah, that's why I'm wearing the Keep Looking Up shirt. You know, just, well. Anyway, any other thoughts on that? What do you guys think?
We were super excited. We watched the Falcon X launch live, and it looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. The boosters landed, and the damn Corvette launched, or the Tesla launched into orbit with the heavy metal guy sitting in there, and it was just unbelievable. My mind was blown.
You know what you named it. You know what they named it, right?
I think Starman, right?
Yes, there's a Starman. Okay, I'm not going to sing.
Now, you guys are right up the road from there, right, Jack? So, I mean, really, you guys snuck on board and tagged the thing Starfighter Inc., didn't you?
We actually sent one of our designers to see it launch, so hopefully he got some good reference for us. He lives in West Palm Beach, so his name's Whitmore, and hopefully he was able to jump up there and watch it.
I hope there are no tactical nukes armed on it.
All right, so our streamers, what they're looking at is I've played around with it a little bit. This is really cool. Just to kind of what I'm a huge fan of is you're a spaceman, just floating around this hangar, and apparently, you know, WAS works. There you go. WSAD is your forward, backward, and we also got strafing, right?
Yep. That's Q&E.
All right, so but one of the other cool features, what I need to get used to using is the RNF keys, which is straight up, straight down. Love it.
Yeah, you're actually on board a space elevator state junction, and it's in 0G. And our game, you're always looking through the eyes of the pilot. We never take you away from the eyes of the pilot. But you do have an augmented reality helmet on, so you'll see like there's some graphics floating and stuff like that. That's all being generated by your augmented reality helmet. So you do see some graphics floating.
Oh, something else I noticed when I was playing around with it earlier.
Yeah, we need to animate that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a little stiff. He's a little corpsey like.
Hey, where's my /wave or /dance, right?
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming.
On the way.
It's only an alpha. We care about the combat, is what we're saying.
Well, Jack, all right, well, when you first go through your first little bit, and you can come over here, click it, and do some training, but that's not what we're here to do. What are we doing here? We're coming over here to this screen, right?
Yeah, let's go log on to the contract screen, and I'll talk a little bit about it. So here is where the you can serve up contracts and people can join your game, and you can see we've got a number of contracts up here, and you'll see there's multiple types. So there's asteroid pileup, assault blind spot, assault blitz, and assault long range strike. This game mode is all. We have 2 factions in our game right now, but this is going to be constantly changing. Right now, we've got a faction called North Star, and you can see that these are all North Star contracts. North Star is our years in the future.
All right, sorry. Kind of broke up a little bit on there. Sorry.
Sorry about that. You still hear me?
Yep.
So North Star is our Boeing, and our game takes place about 200 years in the future. And for the first foreseeable future, all of our missions are going to be around Saturn and the different places around Saturn. This first section of missions is all near the moon Pauline, which was the site of a massive industrial accident, and then the moon has kind of been blown apart a little bit. So there's some dynamic pieces of the moon floating around. Do me a favor, and you can see your ship Q. If you could change that to a Shrike over there on the right. On the right.
Yeah, not the Brawler.
Don't use the Hyperion. Yeah, on the top.
Yeah, we want Shrike.
We want Shrike. And as you can see, there's different configurations. The second line, you have Defender, and you can see you have an EMSA railgun, 21 loss times 2. That's a laser cannon. Then you have EMP turrets, and we have a lot of electronic warfare in here. And you have a couple of warheads, missiles with small kiloton nuclear weapons on there. As you see on the bottom,
on the Shrike.
1 kiloton, yeah, just enough to really put a hurting on a Shrike. And you can see on the bottom it says stock. You can change that and actually change your skin. We probably have about 10 different skins in there, so you're free to customize that. We'll have pictures of those popping up a little later.
Okay.
I'm afraid to ask, what's the difference between ninja and stealth?
I think one of them has a little bit of red in it that looks cool, and one of them is black. So we have we're experimenting with different colors and everything like that. Not that there's any stealth. There is no stealth in space, really. So
Well, they can't hear you scream in space.
they can't.
Yeah, but
well,
everything makes loud pew 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 noises whenever you... I've seen the movies.
The
Yeah.
way that in our game, our helmet actually has something called the DSS, which is the Decision Support System. That is, it's actually generating the sound for you digitally. So you do hear, as long as you don't take a big EMP hit or that your systems don't get damaged, it will generate all the tactical sounds you need to hear. But only things that you need to hear that are important from a tactical standpoint. Philip, do you want to talk about this screen any? I mean, most of these missions were some of your designs.
Yeah, I mean, basically, like Jack said, this is kind of like our mission or game mode type. Right now, the one that's the most polished is the assault match, which is why it's in this build. The core concepts here is that you have 2 teams that are trying to effectively destroy the other team's base. One base is in the form of a large carrier. The other base is nestled deep inside the moon Jack mentioned. And basically, it's kind of fly out, don't run out of resources, don't die, and kill the enemy base.
And you kill the enemy base. Each base has a reactor, and the reactor is buried deep in the... On one side, the base is buried deep inside the moon itself, so you have to get through the the front part and get to the back of the base and hit the reactor. On the carrier, the base is in the back of the hangar, so it's like one of the safest spots on the ship, but it's still vulnerable to a ship like the Shrike, which is, I would say it's the F-16 of the future. It's really tiny, really fast, heavily armed, but definitely doesn't have a lot of armor on it, so it definitely can go down pretty fast. So let's go ahead and start the mission Blitz, the third mission. That's
Blitz.
a good, assault
right.
Blitz.
Initiated.
Yeah, and I'm gonna join next once that's in.
Where do we see that?
Andrew, Andrew, you need
Active
to quit out.
contracts on the
maybe
contract.
too quickly, huh?
I'm talking about, like, do we see? Can I see who's joined or?
It'll
Not yet.
say-
We are
it'll say
still in
what
the
you get
process of. Well, we're still in the process of implementing a lobby system.
See,
We
and
just
this is
kinda
why I
have-
love first looks.
Yes.
It's an alpha, so
It's
there-
definitely an alpha, but we are. I mean, it's definitely something we're gonna want to have.
All right.
Okay,
So Blitz, this
uh,
is a throwback to our very first look. You
yeah.
went
So
through here.
Philip, why don't you join now?
Okay.
So, folks, I have not studied my keys. We are playing with and or against the developers here, so expect lots of fragging.
Well, that's why I'm putting Clockwork on your side. He along with our lead programmer, Inverted Joy, Noah Brewster, they're far better than me. So you guys will have a huge advantage on me.
Whoa.
So let's
my
talk about
viewers
this.
dizzy.
Let's talk about the ship for a little bit. So what you have here is an external view when you're like this, and this is sort of like if you see the new cars have cameras that enable it to kind of generate an external view. You can zoom in and out and take a look at your ship.
Nice.
Your ship, as you can see, has those two balls on it. That is a gimbaled laser turret, which also acts as an anti-missile system. When you activate it, that'll protect you against missiles. On the bottom, you can see the warheads. So we actually show we try to make it as realistic as possible in every way. You can see the reactor behind the ship right there. If you want to, your ship also, they become more available to target and you get more information about them if they go active. You can go active by hitting the J key. And you can see that's kind of like a sensor dish that's opening up. So it'll make it easier for you
It's an AESA phased radar array.
See, that's why he's lead designer.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go back in the ship and we'll talk a little bit about what's in the cockpit. So you can see in the middle, you can see around the cockpit, this is your pilot.
My pilot kind
You
of looks like
go
he's...
around.
Yeah.
He actually has an armored spacesuit on, so he can actually avoid some radiation and last back to the base. He can actually have additional ships waiting for him. We're not going to show that tonight. We'll just let you override save vehicle. And let's look at the left. On the left is your weapon, so you can see this. You can zoom in with the right key if you want to see that a little closer.
There we go. That's what it was. I was trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, and you can see he has a railgun, and he's got 99 flechettes. He's got an XN21 laser cannon. The laser cannon only does thermal damage, so
That's not entirely true.
Well, go ahead, talk. You can talk about the laser.
Oh,
You can
sure.
find that weapon.
So lasers effectively in our game have two modes. One is applying thermal damage. So the way thermal damage works is we actually have convection on every component on every ship. So when a laser hits a component, what it's going to do is slowly apply heat to it, and then that heat will be transferred throughout the ship. Now, all of our ships use their hull and armor effectively as a radiator. So the more you heat up the hull, the more the less well that ship can get rid of heat. And while he's looking at his MFD or multifunction display, those pips underneath the blue bars represent how warm a component is. And when that fills up all the way across, or 10 pips, you start hitting melting temperatures, and that's when the material actually comes off. And we actually have to do a lot of research into how we determine melting, but that's a different story for a different time. The other mode that lasers have is impact. So predominantly what you'll see in modern day lasers is they have about like 100,000 flashes per second. And so they're like click, 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 click. And what they're doing is they're applying a lot of heat to a smaller area, and this causes it to sublimate the material away and drill holes through stuff. So our lasers have both of these modes capable or enabled, and you can, by switching to them and then toggling that same weapon key again, it will cause the impact mode to initiate it, and you can switch back and forth. And the impact is better against armor because it takes a long time to heat up a radiator. But impact can actually drill through an armor and hit those squishier components inside, which is where all the damage comes from.
Huh. So I see you guys kind of creeping outside the hole here.
Yeah, I'm kind of just hovering around. I'm not coming in for the kill yet. I think Philip's already hit me with an EMP, so he's already playing with me.
No,
so let's talk about this. So you see on the left it says prop. That's your propellant. So when you're out of fuel, your ship is essentially dead in the water. On the right, you can see velocity and thrust. So that's your current. That's how much your current. That's how much your speed is going, and it's recommended where we can almost go 1,000 meters per second or faster, which is a bullet. But you're almost impossible to turn when it's like that. This is not an airplane where you can bank and turn. You actually have to counteract your thrust, so you would have to bring it down. Usually we fly around 150 to 200 meters a second and still maintain decent maneuverability. Of course, your thrust is how much thrust you're applying. You can see your G-force there. We have a tactical radar next to the G-force. And in your middle MFD, if you look at the middle, this is your ship systems. Philip, why don't you tell them about our ship systems a little bit? This is
sure.
One of your designs.
So basically, like I mentioned before, all of the ships have multiple components that determine how they function. We've broken them up. I mean, we can obviously go into much more insane detail, but really what we have here are the ones that are most important for you to follow. So you have things like your main engine, your reactor, your heat engine. Those three function effectively to make your ship go forward and provide power. We have propellant tanks, which is how much propellant you have, like Jack was talking about, your cockpit, your armor, and this readout gives you information about what the status is of each of those components, because that can be very important. Because if you realize that you're overheating, then you can turn off systems that are generating power and cool your ship down. You can try and stay out of combat so that you're not taking damage. And we went back and forth on how to display this information for a long time, because ultimately we have a lot of information that we feel the player really needs to know. And this is the best way that we have found so far to display it.
Also, you'll see in the middle it says trans, rot, sense, and a few other keys. That Z turns your translation buffer off. And that means right now your ship is compensating, so it's trying to keep you sturdy. If you turn that off, you're going to have drift, and you're going to have real space. Your ship will continue to drift until it stops. But with it on, it just makes it a little easier to fly.
Yeah,
but
basically
those systems can be knocked out by EMPs and things like that, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, basically the way translational, it's referred to as translational and rotational dampening. And the way that translational dampening works is the ship automatically tries to set your vector as a direction that your ship is facing. So if you fly forward and then you turn and look in a different direction, then your ship is going to try and make that direction your forward vector. If you turn it off, then you can flip around, maintain your current vector, whatever direction that is, and shoot without affecting your vector. So you can set a path to kind of like aim above an asteroid and then turn around and shoot at somebody that's coming after you by turning it off without affecting your forward vector. Rotational dampening is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. If you turn it off and hit the A or D key to roll, you'll see that your ship does not stop rolling. Like right now, if you hit the A or D key, your ship will roll a little bit, but will stop. But if you turn that off, then your ship will just roll forever until you turn it back on.
Yep, because we were inverted.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me, Goose. Sorry.
Andrew, are you joining?
All right, coming in.
And as soon as you join, we'll go for it.
Oh,
now the battles are fast and furious, so they go really The better you get at it, the longer the battles last, because you learn to dodge missiles, mitigate damage, and things like that. So we're actually, I mean, Philip and I, we can get into some pretty long, protracted battles and stay alive. And we also have bigger ships that are we're going to show that are they can last a lot more because they have a lot more armor and they have a lot more redundant systems on them
and more weapons.
Okay, Andrew's in. Let me hopefully he can fly out of the ship without dying.
I'm gonna try to as well, unless you're spawn camping me.
No, I'm way over here by the Atlas, so you guys are free to come on in. Come on in.
Hilarious. There we go. No, I didn't realize I was in the text area. So I was going, why am I not accelerating? I wrote
Hey, we won! We win!
All right, yoo-hoo!
It's okay. We'll just load that up again.
Yep. There's a timer, so the players can't like fly off into space and never.
Hold on that screen for a second, and let's talk about
return to hangar.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's all right.
I'll talk about this next time.
I've got it still pulled up. If you're
yeah,
excellent.
That's the heart. This is the heart of our game. You are a mercenary, and every mission costs you money, as you can see. Resurrection fee. They have clones of your body, but in our world, corporations own everything, and you actually have to get a license to exist. So there's only one license allowed for each person. So when you die, they'll actually charge you to bring you back to life. You can see the fuel is accounted. There's insurance, hangar fees, various fees. I'm a sneeze.
I thought this game was set in the future. Sounds like kind of now.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
kind of the scary part of it.
You know, the more things change, the more they change. They stay the same. And you can see your income, and you can see your bottom line right there. 20. That's your credits that you've earned. And on the bottom is fabricator stock material, which is this is the stuff that everything you can print missiles and print ammo and 3D print a lot of parts of your ship, and you have to have
components, whole ships.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to return to hangar.
Yeah, we're ready to play.
All right, let's return to hangar and let's see how fast you can kill me.
Okay, now right now we have just sequential loading. We'll have randomized loading, but right now just for testing we have sequential loading. So why don't you pop back up to the contract board and start the same mission again?
Available contracts. So we're gonna try to do Blitz again.
Yeah, let's do Blitz because that's a good easy one to start with. It gets a little harder it gets a little more challenging as we start. So
initiating.
Andrew, don't join yet.
I knew you
join.
would say that.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
So
I said initiating. I waited, and then I did it. And then
it's gonna be developers against
noobs. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's wildly unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a quick game. We got
Jack. How about this? Do you want to like go out one at a time to give them a chance?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go first since I'm the easier kill. So.
Are you saying you don't have a trader button?
Not yet.
Change sides in the middle of the game. That'd be the first.
If you do that, that's going to cost you a lot of money. So even though you might want to do that, that'll cost you a ton of money, and your bottom line will not be pretty if you do that.
Oh, I joined his. I'm on his team, Jack.
Oh, you are? Okay, we might be good.
His being who?
Oh, Andrew's not in.
I'm on your team.
Yay.
I see an enemy. But I'm not in your game, huh?
You probably started a new map
I
again.
see the sun. Anyway, I can see Earth from here.
No, not from. It's probably just a tiny period-sized dot.
There's not a pale blue dot somewhere.
Our star field's actually accurate, so it probably is.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and end mission again.
Creeping.
We'll get you working, Andrew.
I see bullets. Oh boy.
All right, returning to hangar. Hangar.
See if you can get away from that.
Oh, I'm dead.
Newbie gets the
Phil-
kill.
Nice.
Philip was lighting me up, so
Well done.
Yes.
okay. I'm gonna
I
come
need more
back
nuke
in.
missiles.
I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna come back in so Andrew's not alone.
So alone here in space.
Are you in yet?
All right, so I've got an active assault blitz. So I
Yeah.
guess that's the one I need
Yeah,
to
you
join.
just wanna look at active contracts as opposed to
Available.
available.
Yeah.
Available is how you start a match. Active is how you join one.
All right.
So trying to get used to my HUD here. I keep seeing these 3 red dots appear, which I'm assuming like.
Kill him.
Those are off-screen indicators.
Ugh. Oh no,
Are you?
I'm dead.
Oh no! Really? You left me alone with these 2?
Well, he EMP'd me right as I came into the hangar, so my speed, the EMP knocked out all of my systems because I was like right next to him,
It's just
and
me. It's
so
just-
I couldn't fly anywhere. So I flew in, so it crashed me into the back of the hangar.
It's
and I
just me and you now, Brian. Just me
Yeah,
and
if I
you,
can
baby.
find you. Oh. Oh my God! Hey, look! There's a spaceship. There's a big one right there.
That's our carrier.
You better run. Missed you.
Oh yeah. My turn.
You think?
I was actually a little damaged thanks to Philip.
You're welcome.
Now you can fly into the if you want. You can fly into that hang. You can fly in there and destroy the. But actually, Andrew's in, so it's you versus Andrew now. So if you want to fly into the carrier and try to destroy it, there's a entrance at the front of it, and there's a reactor at the back of it. So you have to fly the back and shoot the reactor with a railgun, and you'll win the mission.
Over under on him making it into the hangar without crashing.
I see Andrew flying around.
Trying to get around the asteroid. That's a big asteroid. What are you trying to be scientifically accurate or something?
We are
Don't you know
scientifically
space
accurate.
debris is
why
tiny?
you got to talk about big ass droids?
We are scientifically accurate.
Hey, they're the ones who are talking about there being compensation in this game.
Yeah, right. So yeah, last time I was trying to shoot this thing, I
Lock him with a T, Andrew.
I haven't even done my J
Yeah,
yet.
you actually, Brian, you actually need to get inside the carrier.
Okay.
So effectively on the exact opposite side of the carrier from where you currently are
All right.
is the hangar, and there's an opening that you can fly into. And once you fly inside, you'll be able to target
I
the.
think Andrew's coming after me.
I don't think you had. Oh, you're
What?
dead.
Oh,
He got you.
he did?
I think so. You
Oh.
died.
Would I do that to you, Brian?
Aw.
I don't know you
But not
very well,
me.
but yes.
All right.
All right, so Andrew, you can win the mission now. Just turn around and I'll tell you how to win the mission.
What?
Brian,
See
Brian,
the
Yes.
red circle?
Tilde
Yep.
what?
I need you to hit the console button
Yeah,
and
the tilde.
type end match.
Go to that.
End match. Just hit tab and enter.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Better than that, I
enter.
think
I want to see Andrew if Andrew gets close to the spaceship first. Oh, nope, guess not.
Oh, he's got to come to your base.
Yeah.
Trying to see.
Yeah, he's behind the asteroid now,
Whoops.
but he's getting closer. You got to fly into that base. It's right ahead of you. See that little
Wait a minute. Do I have to match my rotation to it in order to get in?
No, no, it's not rotating. But you're gonna hit
sorry,
that
that's
asteroid
old
if you don't
game
slow
joke.
down. You're gonna hit the asteroid pretty hard, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, you didn't die.
Eject.
Control H.
Control
is
H.
eject.
Control H.
Yep.
Whee!
Oh, I wish we could see this.
Now you can end match. I'm actually watching it because I'm. I think you have a spectator cam. You can You can move around with the spectator cam.
It only works for allies.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, Brian, we won.
We did.
You did. Yeah, we lost.
I love it.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, so is God mode in there too? Just kidding.
No God
No.
mode in this game.
The only thing that matters to me is that Mill now has a nemesis.
Doesn't he always?
All right, let's try it. Now let's try a different mission. This time, listen to me, Andrew.
What? Talking.
Follow my orders so we can play together. All right, go ahead and launch a new mission for me, Brian.
All right, 1 second. I was looking at chat. Can you choose to elevate a target or melt it? Someone asked.
Oh, is there a question? What's the question?
Question
Can
in
you
Twitch.
abate a target or melt it? Can you choose to abate a target or to melt it?
What abate? What does abate mean?
You were talking about the